Joy Reid just said black people who vote differently have to humiliate their own community and promote self-hatred to be accepted. And that's a pretty heavy charge, if you ask me. So we're going to look at what she actually, what she actually means to that and what the culture she's defending looks like when the cameras keep rolling. So watch close.
This is Joy Reid. She's facing backlash after attacking black conservatives, saying that we have to go through a humiliation ritual to be accepted in the Republican Party. And I just have to react to it. Let's take a listen.
And what I feel like around among black conservatives, number one, there's a sense of I can stand taller in a room where there are no other black people, right? So they get a lot of opportunity. If you're a black conservative, you're going to be pushed forward. John James, who's going to be the gubernatorial candidate in Michigan, is that right? You're pushed forward, but in order to get that boost from the right, you have to humiliate your own people. You have to express disdain for your own people. There has to be a certain amount of self-hate that you're willing to promote and a lot of humiliation that you're willing to promote. And especially in Trumpism, MAGA Trumpism is about humiliation. And that's not just for black folks. They all have to bend the knee, allow themselves to be humiliated, allow themselves to be mocked. Like, to me, the amount of humiliation that you have to suffer isn't worth the boost that you get from the right. But a lot of people are thirsty for that boost and they'll take it.
All right, so just a couple of things. Number one, black conservatives don't excuse slavery. We tell the whole truth about slavery, okay? The truth is what? Africans, particularly black people in Africa, sold their own people into slavery, okay? But she doesn't want to admit that because that would hinder her white supremacy talking points. So that's number one. Number two, black people don't need to humiliate themselves and attack other black people to earn respect. No. What we're doing is holding our own accountable, something she refuses to do. She'll ignore the crimes. She'll ignore the ghetto behavior. She'll ignore the behavior that continues to set black America back and then blame the white man. So no, black conservatives don't do that because we're free thinkers. And finally, it is somewhat true that in the Jim Crow era, black Americans were better off in the context of what? Marriage, family. They had their own economy. They had their own schooling. They had their own jobs. They had their own system. Back then, they were better off in that way. Now, today, we are better off as black Americans financially and freedoms. So two things can be true at the same time. I don't think she believes in nuance. And I often tell people, I'm not doing this for acceptance. Black conservatives are not conservatives because they want to be accepted. If I wanted to be accepted, I'd be a Democrat, right? Because I know if I was a Democrat and I was a raging liberal, I would be able to go to all of the dinner parties. I would have been on probably ABC and CBS and all these other networks easily. Absolutely. I definitely would have been on CNN by now. They won't even let me on because of how I'm not even going to go there, how critical I've been of some of their hosts. But anyways, it's because I'm a conservative. That's why. We already know what it is. I'm not complaining about it, by the way. But I just find it interesting, her reaction. And I think she should rethink things. And I think that's why she's irrelevant.
So Joy Reid claims that holding your own community accountable is the same thing as hating it. That the only way to get anywhere on the right is to degrade your own people. She's not describing politics at all. She's describing a loyalty test, in my opinion. You're either silent about crime, family, collapse and failure, or you're an enemy. I don't think that's love, in my opinion. That's a form of ownership. Now, let's see the energy that gets protected when accountability is labeled self-hate.
One thing about me, two things for certain, I love making white people uncomfortable. And by that, I mean, I love showing up in a space where white people are and they think it belongs to them. And I show up authentically myself, big and bold, ready to be seen. I'm not gonna dim my life for no one. Tell me how I'm in nature. White boy sitting there, it's for everybody to enjoy. I pull up with my music, but when white people see me, they see me with my music. All they can think is ghetto and disturbing. And I'm here to make the place ghetto and disturbing. Yes, I'm putting up my hammock and I'm gonna enjoy this bitch just as much as you are. You're gonna leave. Yeah, I'm gonna make you so uncomfortable, you're gonna leave. Yeah, I'm not moving. Yeah, I'm gonna be ghetto and I'm gonna be ratchet and I'm gonna be as black as possible. Yeah. Get uncomfortable, bitch. One thing about me. Two things.
She says, I love making white people uncomfortable. I'm here to be as ghetto and disturbing as possible, she says. I'm going to be as black as possible as well. Now, she's not whispering this at all. She's very proud of it. Now, when someone says the choir part out loud and calls it identity, the people who clap are telling you what they actually value. Performance over progress and shock over stability. And it doesn't stop at the attitude at all. It turns into open demands.
It's about our birthright and what we deserve, what we have built, what we have fought for, what we deserve in this country, what they owe us. You work a job, they don't pay you. Sue them for what? Back payment. We are suing this government for back pay for services rendered in this country, on this soil, that, might I add, is drenched in our blood. If you were not here to give the services, or if you were not here as those services were stolen from you, then you do not deserve reparations here. Go elsewhere.
Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. My camera done went black on me. Hold up. Un momento. But she says, hold on. Come on, camera. Come back to me. Okay, there we go. She says, I want my money and I want it now. Reparations as a personal invoice. No conversation about the hundreds of thousands who died ending slavery. No conversation about the decades of opportunity that followed. Just pay me. It's not history, man. It's a mindset that treats every problem as someone else's debt. Now, I want you to watch what happens when the same mindset meets real life.
That's it right there.
Hey, excuse me. Can I speak to you for a minute?
Yes, sir, about what?
Did you disrespect my wife and my daughter?
Sir.
Did you call them niggas? That ain't what I asked you. Did you call them niggas and all of that?
No, I never said the N-word, sir.
Oh, okay. That's all I want to know.
You call me a black bee.
I can call you whatever I want.
No, you can't.
You're out there and you're out here making a scene in my restaurant after I fire your lazy daughter.
Hey. We ain't got to do all of that. We ain't got to do that. We ain't got
I said the N-word.
Okay,
We were outside, and you called me a black bee, called my daughter a lazy bee.
What I just asked you?
Sir, this is simple truth. Since I've been up here in this little ghetto store trying to turn it around.
Okay, you ain't gotta say that. It ain't no ghetto store.
Do you want to listen?
This is your place of business, sir.
My name is on the door, and every time I walk in, your daughter's on her phone. She's fucking around. She acts like shit.
Okay,
I can find her about it
that's
tonight.
understandable.
I get this. And I said, plug out, go home, you're fired. I'm up here to fire another one too, because he served the customer shit.
Okay,
so I drive 26. I've been up here. No, sir.
This is your job, dude. You ain't
got
got to dress like
to get it
that.
right, and your daughter keeps fucking up. You need to leave.
But still, you ain't got to do that, sir.
Calling me a black bee.
Hey, what I just told you?
For a month. This is the state of Texas. I can talk to an employee exactly.
No, you can't talk to anybody like
Yes,
that. No, you can't.
Sir, I've done this for 30 years.
Okay, well, I tell you what, I'm going to call the people that own this company, and I will speak to them. And what's your name, sir?
My name is on the door.
Your name is on the door?
Hit it.
What is your...
They told me to come here and do whatever I needed to do.
Okay, they didn't tell you
That's
to
what
come
I
here and
need to do.
disrespect people.
Everything's a disrespect.
Ain't no problem, bro. Ain't no problem.
Oh my gosh, my camera again, man. Oh. Anybody notice that black employee that was standing next to him while he was talking about? Okay, I just wanted to make sure I said that because you heard the woman scream out that he was prejudiced, maybe insinuate that he was racist. So a black father shows up angry that his daughter got fired, essentially. Started it all in the owner disrespecting the wife and the mom. That's what he started with. But the manager, he didn't flinch. He said, look, I fired your lazy daughter. I've been up here in this ghetto store trying to turn it around, he says. Now, nobody wants to hear that sentence. Well, whether you agree or disagree with the approach, that's not the point. But the point is the store doesn't care about feelings. It cares about whether people show up and work. The father came to fight for his daughter. The manager came to protect his business. Only one of them was dealing in reality that day. Now, I want you to look at what happens when competence starts to matter more than the old team jersey.
Put into your words, Representative Donald, why are people leaving those states specifically?
Because of crazy policy from the Democrats. The Democrats have lost the plot. And listen, this is not the Democrat Party of JFK. This is now the Democrat Party of AOC and Bernie Sanders and Mamdani. And they're just crazy. Their policy doesn't make any sense. Even if you just start with basic cultural items, we all see what's going on with the WNBA right now. Men don't belong competing against women. We're bigger, stronger, and faster. There's no disrespect to the female athletes at the professional level, at the college level, at the high school level, at the middle school level. But the truth is boys are bigger, stronger, and faster. And you have Democrats who still think that's okay. You have David Jolly, who looks like I'm going to be running against to lead Florida into the future. He still believes it's okay to transgender kids. That's craziness. Even the American Medical Association has finally seen the light and seen the reality and said, you know what? Yeah, that's crazy. We should not be doing gender reassignment surgeries on minors. That's craziness. At least let them become full adults. And if, as a full adult, if you want to do that, I don't agree with you, but that's your business. And that's not something you do for kids. So people have already seen those cultural issues. But then when you come to the economy, Stephen A., I'm hearing the Democrats now say that they have the solution to fix affordability. Now, how are you going to hire the person that set the fire to put out the fire? The reason that inflation has wrecked our country is because of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Democrat policy when they were in charge. And that's an unmitigated fact, Stephen A.
Well,
Those are the facts.
I'm not challenging that part is true. What I'm challenging is that it started with them. We got $39 trillion in debt. Every administration has run up. It was Reagan, it was H.W., it was Clinton, even though he departed with a surplus, but it was W, it was Obama before Trump, and then Biden took it to another level. And nobody's hands are clean when it comes to contributing to the debt in this country. So when you say it's Kamala, it's Biden, it's those policies, et cetera, I'm not saying you're wrong, but is that not a bit disingenuous when we put it on them when there were Republicans in office over the last 30 years plus as well?
Two things real quick. Number one, when Joe Biden and Kamala brought the American Rescue Plan, they were told by Larry Summers, who was Barack Obama's economic advisor and Bill Clinton's economic advisor. And they were told that it would create a massive inflation. And we all seen what's happened since then. But if you're talking about the national debt, I agree with you, it's completely out of control. I'm the sponsor of the bill that would have cut the most money ever that hit the floor of the House of Representatives. It would have cut year over year spending by 30% and also secured our nation's borders in the same bill. But the biggest problem has always been the United States Senate, because you cannot get Democrat senators in the U.S. Senate who are committed to cutting spending. We can pass spending bills out of the House that cut spending and reform some of the structural issues all day long out of the House of Representatives. But because of the filibuster in the United States Senate, there are Democrat senators who refuse, Stephen A., to do what is right when it comes to the budget and the spending of this country.
But Representative Donald, respectfully, Donald Trump spends a lot of money his damn self. I mean, we can't deny that now. I mean, he's contributed to the debt as well. What do you say to somebody that looks at the president who obviously has endorsed you and you're a strong supporter of his, and they say, wait a minute, he's guilty of the same things you're accusing Democrats of? How do you respond to that?
My response is a couple. Number one, some of the biggest parts of the debt under President Trump was the response to COVID-19. When the entire world's economy shut down, Donald Trump and members on both sides of the aisle on Capitol Hill, they said, you know what, we're going to provide aid and relief to the people of our country while most of the country was shut down. And so that was where most of that debt comes from.
So Stephen A. Smith, not exactly a right-wing guy, says Byron Donalds is the one politician who could actually make him switch parties. Yeah. You don't believe me? Look at that right here. Look at that right here. You know, and that's not small, man. You know, when a man who's spent years on the other side starts noticing results of a rhetoric, the old excuses, man, they just get thinner. And this last one shows the bill that comes due when culture keeps prioritizing everything except responsibility.
You got men running around in ski masks and poo shiesty masks, and you don't want to prosecute crime. You don't want to hold men accountable. And so nothing about the Democrat ideology has been beneficial to men, and you should know that. You see that. You see all of these men running around here in dresses. All of these men think it's okay to be feminine. Like, nothing about the Democrats offering nothing constructive, nothing positive for young men or men in general. So when we were going off of policy in 2024, you said, no, our mothers are black. Remember that? Our grandmothers are black. And the reason why we're not supporting Kamala Harris is because we hate black women. So when it was time for him to turn around and do the same thing and support Sears, He didn't do that. He went with the women who believe in 72 genders. That's what he decided to do. So don't ask us why we decide why we believe in what we believe in. You insulting our intelligence asking us some stupid stuff like that. Go ahead, Fire.
No, you're right. Just to piggyback what you said. In 2024, it was, oh no, don't worry about the party.
Okay. So I want to give y'all some context. It says this video criticizes Democrats for failing to hold men accountable for crimes and for promoting femininity, while also questioning Kamala Harris's policies and challenging the intelligence of those who ask certain questions. What's up with my camera today, man? Look, man, crime, soft standards, and policies that treat men like the problem instead of the solution. You know, the same people who demand loyalty in elections suddenly go quiet when the results show up in the streets and at home. You know, you can't demand respect while rewarding the opposite of it, right? So Joy Reid wants you to believe that telling the truth about your own community is betrayal. But, you know, the clips don't lie. When pride is placed in being disruptive, when every setback becomes debt someone else owes you, and when work standards get called racism, the outcome is pretty predictable. The people who keep winning are the ones who stop waiting for permission to be excellent, right? You know, the ones who still treat failure like an identity are the ones who need to stay angry at the wrong target. You don't have to hate anyone to reject the mindset that keeps producing the same results. You just have to be honest about what you're watching. So, oh my gosh. If you made it, if this one made you sit up a little bit, all right? I want you to leave a word that we always use, standard, all right? Use that word. And then also want to leave you with James 1:22. Be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. Be safe. Go check with somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.